Hello. I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes now about some more literary theories that you can think about as you keep reading. Specifically, I'll discuss some outer-directed theories which concentrate on the relation between a text and the world around it. In these theories, the meaning of a literary work comes from how the work reflects the world it exists in. In other words, the attention of the critic, instead of being directed inward towards the work, is directed outward from the work to the world that the work responds to. For example, feminist criticism focuses on the way that a work of literature discusses, or ignores, the status of women as a class. A feminist critic might look at how a story treats its female characters, especially in relation to its male characters. What does a female character get to say? How does a female character get to act, as opposed to how a male character gets to say or act in a certain way? That same critic might also investigate how a work's female characters behave within a system in which women operate as a class, as opposed to the class of men. How does this class compare in power or freedom or authority to the other class? Which class gets to make the rules and dominate? Which class gets to obey the rules? The feminist critic finds the meaning, the value of a work in the way the work reflects that relationship between men and women, both individually and as classes, in the world outside the work itself. Similarly, post-colonial criticism scrutinizes the historical power dynamic between colonies and colonizers, as that dynamic reveals itself in a literary work. A work might or might not explicitly address the relation of power between the nations that colonized parts of the world and the people who lived in those areas. These relations get especially complicated when colonies separate themselves from colonizers. This change of status allows specifically post-colonial theorizing. Thus, post-colonial critics work to show how literary texts reveal and grow from that historical power dynamic. They find a work's meaning in relation to history that might not even appear explicitly in that work, but nonetheless exists in the world that the work exists in. We live in a world where colonies existed, in fact still do. Some countries have power over other areas, and that power is in contest. Literature can reflect this contest, whether or not it explicitly discusses these power dynamics. In this way, in the way feminist criticism does, post-colonial theory reaches out to the world beyond the work of literature to find that literature's meaning and value. I hope that this look at outer-directed literary theories will inspire you to keep thinking about the relationship between what we read and the world we live in. The writers who make literature live in that world along with us, so using our experience of the world to help ourselves understand literature seems natural. Literature not only reflects the ideas of the writer, but also the ideas of the culture that the writer lives in. So we can learn a lot more about what we read by thinking about the world that what we read comes from. As always, thank you for your time and attention.